We have Hercules H4. It's time to get turbo. Today for our Beyblade show, we're taking a look at the Beyblade Burst Turbo Slingshock Archer Hercules H4. The parts are D53, which is 13, and TS15-S, which is Eternal Slingshock. I have the bay right here. So this bay looks really, really cool. There is a few gripes that I have with it, but let's get on with the review. So we're going to be going over all the parts, then we'll do a comparison to the scaling and everything. So one thing I will be saying is that something I was very surprised with Hasbro was the sort of the turboification of a lot of bays. Now the turboification, it's not even a word. It's basically where the bays are modified to work with the turbo new Slingshock gimmicks, but some bays, for an example, come at the sacrifice for some gimmicks or something's not right. Other times, it's fine. So with Hercules, as I'm going to keep on mentioning, there's no metal on the layer. Keep on mentioning that in case somebody's new there and they're wondering if there's actually any metal on this on these turbo layers. So good thing is, it does still keep the same gimmick where these little arrows push out. So that is good. 13, nothing special there. So it's really weird is the Slingshock for Eternal, because even though I shouldn't really be surprised, I still have to mention it. So this is the TT Eternal. Now there's pole material on this, as you can see, and the thing is with Hasbro, I guess they just never use that material, or they don't care for it. What was it? They never did yielding, which I believe was on Yggdrasil Y2. We recently reviewed Phoenix P4 and they didn't have, the friction didn't have pollen. And again, what a surprise with Eternal, there's no pollen there, and it's kind of eh. And it's kind of weird also because then after, you know, what really separates this from Eternal, and then after what makes this just a revolved Slingshock? It's kind of weird, but it's kind of eh. So this is the Battle Ring mode. So Slingshock mode, it took me a while to even get this. So with some bays, there's a little tab that you switch or you push something and then after it activates into its Slingshock mode. So this is the Battle Ring mode right now. It's pretty short. It's even, I would say, shorter than the original Eternal performance tip. So what I have to do now, you have to find the exact part, and then after you just got, there we go. There we go. It becomes flat. So then after it's taller than Eternal, but it's so, it's so weird. So with a lot of these turbo performance tips, they're usually either shorter than the original, and then after when they're taller, they're way taller than the original. So for Slingshock mode, it's kind of cool because now this part here becomes just flat, and it could make some battles interesting. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna complain the whole time. I think that's pretty cool. Now, here we have the scale. Let's put a Takara Tommy Archer Hercules layer. Usually it's about half, most of the time that is 20 grams. I'm expecting this to be around 12. 14, so roughly 6 grams of difference. Not too bad, that's not really half. I kind of did expect that because with Hercules, the metal is just on the bow and arrow. So it's not too heavy where it's like spread all around, so that's cool I guess. And also, just to quickly weigh it in, I'll be putting both the performance tips. So Eternal, if you want to see the difference, that is roughly, I would say, 5 grams. And now Hasbro, 6 grams. It does make a difference too, because I'm guessing the gimmick that they added in there for the weight difference. Now something I actually did forget to show is it with a level chip. So level chips are compatible. I don't recommend you use Takara Tommy level chips on the Hasbro bays. I just do it to show it to you real quick. But overall, I think this isn't too bad. This isn't like the Phoenix case where the entire shape of friction was basically gone. Everything was like all over the place. So the thing is with Hercules, the Eternal one still kind of keeps the shape. It does have these parts right here, which I'm guessing is the indication for the Slingshock ability. So that's a big difference for the mold for it, but it still sort of keeps it. I mean, also the fact that this part is really big, I guess for the flat parts, well, for the Slingshock mode to actually come out. Again, it's not too bad. Like out of 10, because I don't want to be too nitpicky, because again, this is for Hasbro's own meta and everything. 8? 8-ish? For how tight this bay actually is, let me see. Slopes are okay. Not crazy, it's not like Phoenix tight. It's alright, it's alright. So now what I want to do actually is just get the scale real quick one more time. And I'll be weighing both the bays for the complete weight just to see what it is. Be very quick and I'll make sure to say which bay I'm doing. So let's switch that up to grams. So let's put it on. Hasbro Hercules, that is 39. Takaratomi, 46. A little bit of a difference, that's not too bad. I think other big offenders like Achilles and Wonder Valtryek or even Brutal Lunar, there is a big difference when it comes to that, when comparing from Hasbro to Takaratomi. With this Hercules, it's not too bad. I think this is still worth a pickup for sure. Hercules is for a lot of people do pick up Hercules. This Eternal, the stock and everything, it's like a decent bay. I have to test this out in some battles I'm gonna do right now. Right now, my opinion is, I think this is worth a definite pickup, but this is a starter. It does also come with a Slingshock launcher. So we'll be doing 2 test launches, one in its battle ring mode, one in its Slingshock mode. So 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Battle ring mode. So this bay is a stamina type. I'm gonna point that out, so let's stop the bay. So again, with the gimmick with this, little bow and arrow, so when it's hitting its opponents, kind of like pushes it, gives it some nice impact. For the TT side, it's actually a pretty decent bay for its stock, so when I'm testing this out for Hasbro and against the Takaratomi version, it'll be interesting. So now we're in Slingshock mode. It's a little bit taller and a little bit wackier. Let's see how it performs. 3, 2, 1, let it whip. Oh, yeah, well. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. There we go. It's a little crazy, isn't it? All right, so my thoughts for how the Slingshot gimmick works, I think that's fine. You just pull it out, then after you push it in, make sure when you're pulling out on the Eternal, you make sure that it's not on the part where you pulled it out from. You turn it a bit, so that way when it's rotating, it doesn't go back to that part and have to reverse back to its battle ring mode. That's an issue that some Slingshock bays have. Wonder Valtryek and Lunar are a little bit weird on how it works, and sometimes they'll switch out of it when you're doing the battle. I think with Hercules, it's a lot less likely. I do still prefer Phoenix, other Slingshock drivers where it's just a little tab and it's a little easier to access rather than you just pull it out and you twist it. Still though, I think for this test right now for the launches, pretty good so far. I'm a little impressed. Archer Hercules versus Revive Phoenix. I'm actually excited to see who's gonna win this one. I'm gonna say which bay is tougher. It knocked off the armor, no! Well, the thing is, the stadium has the lid, the armor is gonna stay in. But, all right, the armor came off. We'll do 2 rounds. Battle ring mode and Slingshock mode. All right, not bad. Slopes kind of, well, no, I grabbed that one, never mind. Yeah, Slopes didn't move for this one then. So now, let's do for both of them. Yeah, just to show you what I mean, you gotta pull it and then after you gotta move it. See, now when it's flat, it's not gonna just go back out of it. So now we're gonna be doing this in Slingshock mode for the both of them. So this is Slingshock mode. So we're gonna see who is the toughest one out of the both of them. So 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Let it rip. Yeah, Hercules may switch out of it. I don't think that's too bad, even though I think they should stay completely, unless that's the whole point of these bays. Hercules is a stamina type bay, so even if it does switch out of it, you're not really at a loss. With bays like Valkyrie and Lunar, and some other bays too, if it kind of switches out of it, it's gonna like kind of make it a bit eh. Hercules though, it kind of works out. It's still pretty decent for stamina type. Now, I want to do one more battle with, we'll do one with Takaratomi. However, since I did do this in the original TT1, Emperor Fornius is a bay that is pretty tough even for Hasbro standards. And I want to see who's tougher between the two, whether it's Hercules or Fornius. We're both going to be using regular battle ring mode. I want to see if this can burst this. I'm interested to see. Low late on launch there, low late. I want to see if it can burst it. If it wins with a stamina match, yeah, alright. I feel like it could burst it. I feel like it could. I don't know, we'll see. With Fornius, we'll do 2 rounds. Well, even with the late launch. Okay, this time slopes did move a little bit. I want to see, I think Fornius is pretty good with the stock. I think Yard's Slingshock is really tough. Just using a different string launcher. I'm using a different string launcher just to launch the base a little stronger. We'll try to use a ripcord for the other one. Usually Hercules bursted Fornius quite a bit. I think with Hasbro, the slopes are different and everything, so burst resistance also is a factor that applies to these bays. Yeah, when it comes to it, I think this bay, even for Hasbro standards, is pretty viable. But let's do the ultimate test that everyone wants to see: Takaratomi versus Hasbro. No level chips, obviously. We'll do 1 round Takaratomi where it's battle ring, 1 round in Slingshock mode. Now, what I think the Hasbro can last. I just think the TT is going to pack more of a punch, but I feel like Hasbro can outlast it. I feel like it can. I might be wrong. Might be wrong. Might be a bit wrong. Am I? Oh, okay. Not bad. So that one had quite a bit of rotation left on it. No slides on the base, slopes are pretty decent, and no clicks on this. So now, let us do Slingshock mode. So Hercules, get him! Against itself, I don't think it'll win. Ah! Alright, so TT, I don't think it's gonna outlast the Takaratomi's Eternal. I still think it's not too bad. I might actually do some tests where I try out some different stamina drivers. I might actually want to see later on how Revolve actually works with this Hercules. And since you have been asking, there is the QR code. If you want to scan it, there you go. If you didn't scan it right then and there, just come back to the video, just pause it. But that's it for now. Out of 10, I would say solid 8. Solid 8, I think that's pretty fair. It's a definite recommendation for pickup. It keeps the gimmicks. Doesn't look too bad. I really like it. Of course, there are missing a little, like if I wanted to really nitpick, small parts where the stickers should be, but like, come on, that's not too bad. Overall, Hasbro is doing a good job for a lot of these bays. Like, okay, fine. I'll give it an 8.5. You tell me your rating for this bay in the comment section below. Tell me your thoughts on the gimmick with Eternal. Tell me if you think, how viable do you actually think Eternal is without the palm material? Do you think this still works with Hasbro competitive play? Like, what do you think? I'm interested to read the comments always. I just did a video on the Phoenix 2-pack. Now we did one on the Hercules starter. So that's it for now. As always, have an awesome and amazing burst-filled day. I actually got it. Nice.